Make the ground shake.
Hello everyone. Let me start the next chapter, A Sunny Morning, written by Serfin and Joaquin Alvarez Quintes. Both are brothers. So, A Sunny Morning by a Quintero Brothers is a refreshingly new romantic story or a romantic comedy. It tells the story of Don Gonzalo and Dona Laura, who were ardent lovers at their young age. But their affair was not a successful one as they had to part from each other in life. They meet each other in a park in Madrid during their old age. The story is presented in a new pattern unlike the conventional romantic stories. See, the one act play begins as a sunny morning in a park in Madrid. An old woman named Dona Laura enters the scene and she is described by the authors as a handsome, white-haired old lady of about 70, 70, refined in appearance. She leans upon the arms of her maid Petra. That means you can understand she has a support of Petra, her servant, or maid servant. At the first reference itself, the old lady is described quite differently as handsome, which is a word usually associated with men. The woman is happy about feeding pigeons with breadcrumbs. It is at that point an old man enters with his attendant, that is, Junaito. The old man is none other than old Gonzalo, who is seen to be quite irritated as he finds no bench in the park to be vacant. Moreover, the man that he usually uses during his visit to park, he is occupied by 3 priests. Quite grudgingly, he comes near Laura and shares her bench. Laura gets infuriated as the old man has tried to scare the pigeons and she called him an ill-natured man. So you can observe the dialogue here in the page number ill-natured man. But a few moments of agreement like we know as we read the drama, we understand the character of Lara, being a very talkative old lady, cannot keep quiet even for a few minutes. First, she picks up a conversation with Don Gonzalo, taking the shoe brushing incident as a pretext and asks him whether he uses his handkerchief as a shoe brush. Then she again opens up a conversation with him when he wears his glasses, which prompts him to tell her about his hunting talent. Finally, once both of them have taken turns to converse freely without agreeing or resentment, Don Gonzalo asks her politely to allow him to read. She agrees and asks him to do so. At this moment, Don Gonzalo tells her that he would like to take a pinch of snuff. So, both of them have a pinch of snuff and reconcile with each other. Gonzalo says that he is from Valencia and to his surprise, Lara reveals that she is from Marsella, where she lived in a villa. Gonzalo is startled by the revelation and he says that he knows a woman named Lara Lorente who lived in a villa there, who was perhaps the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Both Lara and Gonzalo realizes that they were young lovers once. Through their conversation, they will come to know they are lovers. They were lovers. But they pretend not to reveal their identities. Lara and Gonzalo devise stories of their own deaths. The Lara says that she knows the woman named Lara, known as Silver Maiden, and that she was her friend during her young age. She also lies that she knows the tragic story of her love affair with a gallant young man named Gonzalo. The old Gonzalo says that he is the cousin of the young man. According to him, the young Gonzalo had to leave his place as he was involved in the fight with a merchant, the suitor of Lara. Then he joined the army and went to Africa, where he met with a glorious death. The old woman reveals that without finding her lover, the young and beautiful Lara committed suicide. Both realize that they are lying but pretend to be unaware. So, like this, they reveal their own stories. So, what are the story you can find here? So, what's Don Gonzalo's story? Don Gonzalo gives a romantic description of the Silver Maiden. Lara realizes that the old man is none other than her former lover Gonzalo. Then both of them together recount their romantic affair until they come to an end of their story. Don Gonzalo rounds it off telling her that his cousin had to hide himself for a few days and later to fly. At this point, Donna tells them that he seems to know the story well. Don Gonzalo also tells her the same. Don Laura tells him that she heard the story from her friend. Don Gonzalo picks up the same lie and tells her that he heard the story from his cousin. Now, both of them are now convinced that they were the former lovers and the romantic affair they had just reconstructed. Donna Laura believes that he does not suspect her and so decides not to tell him the truth. Don Gonzalo that she is entirely innocent. Don Laura wants to probe further into the affair. Therefore, she asks him whether he was the one who advised his cousin to forget Lara. Don Gonzalo assertively tells her that his cousin never forgot her. Donna Laura demands an explanation about Gonzalo's vanishing from Venezuela. In reply, Don Gonzalo tells her that after staying hidden indoors in Valencia for some time, his cousin went to Sevilla and then came to Madrid, where he wrote letters to Lara. But since the letters were intercepted by her parents, she did not get his letter to all and so she did not write back to him. It is here that Gonzalo tells her a lie. He tells her that Gonzalo, then in despair, believing that he had lost his love forever, joined the army, went to Africa and there in a trench met a glorious death, grasping the flag of Spain and whispering the name of his beloved Lara. Lara also understood it is an atrocious lie and she understood that he is not suspecting her. Anyways, she also started to weave her own atrocious story. What she says herself that it is an atrocious lie. Then Gonzalo tells her that Lara did not regret his death, but instead she was chasing butterfly in the garden. Immediately, Donna Lara also weaves a story. She tells him that after waiting for a year for Gonzalo, she went to the beach after sunset one evening. She wrote his name on the sand and then sat down on the rock. The gaze fixed upon the horizon. Then the waves slowly crept up to the rock where the maiden was sitting, and high rising tide means waves, rose with a boom and swept her out to sea. Gonzalo tells himself that she is worse liar than he is. Then she mutters to herself that she will not tell him that she got married 2 years later. Don Gonzalo also mutters to himself that he ran off to Paris with a ballet dancer. Thus, both of them tell a atrocious lie and conceal their identity. So, once again, Don Gonzalo are convinced that they are very same lovers of their youthful years. They get ready to leave. So, both of them decides not to disclose their identities. Donna calls her maid back. Don Gonzalo complains about Juneto and signals him to come. Petra brings a bunch of violets and gives them to Donna Lara, telling us that God has given those flowers to her. Don Gonzalo takes formal leave from her telling that it had been a great honor and a great pleasure meeting her there. Donna Laura also tells him the same. Then Gonzalo wishes her goodbye until the next day. Laura also does the same thing. So now the play ends with a promise that they will meet the very next day with a feeling of harmony. The authors have succeeded in presenting a story which is quite free from stereotypical depictions. So now let me come my own way to the conclusion. See students, the theme of the play is how the once upon a time lovers sharing their thoughts, emotions, experiences of their own love. In the background of the Madrid park, the playwright exposes the deeper corridors of the lives of Don Gonzalo and Donna Lara. Beneath their laughter, there is a pain of mankind as they were crushed in life and they don't want to disclose their identity as they were unable to accept harsh reality of their life, that is old age. Both of them were highly imaginative and they had discomfort of their own appearances. Compared to Gonzalo, Lara is sensible as she still maintains her mental faculties which are unimpaired. Lara is sharp and she has a ready wit to make Gonzalo feel discomfort. So, knowing they spin fictitious stories and make unsuccessful effort to cover up their own identity and they are unprepared to give up their pretense. Now, Gonzalo tells her that it was his cousin, that is Lara, that is gallant lover who loved Lara, and when the duel arose between him and a merchant, he took refuge in the house and later he went to Sevilla and then to Madrid. When he received any letters from Lara thought he lost his love for him forever. He joined the army and went to Africa, which in trench he met a glorious death, grasping the flag of Spain and whispering his beloved's name Lara. Same thing, Lara's friend also, the silver maiden, was disappointed when she didn't receive any letters from Gonzalo and she left home for the beach and wrote his name on the sand and sat down on the rock and her eyes fixed upon the horizons. The waves murmured their eternal threnody, slowly crept up to the rock with a boom and swept her out of the sea. See, we can analyze, we can understand here, conclude here, they were separated by fate or the strange ways of providence. Providence means God here. So you can see here, strange, the ways of providence are strange. So that means God. They don't want to accept the fact as the sanctity of their relationship gets upset. In spite of all these events, their love for each other never dies. So like this, the curtain falls, students. That is, it ends in a happy mood. Maybe it was quite free from stereotypical depiction. So hope you understood, students. So blueprint is 11 marks. Please don't neglect. Go with every dialogue and go with the irony made in a classroom to underline you. So check once all the ironies and try to include those ironies as you explain the question in the, you include these ironies in the answer, students. Hope, thank you, you understood well.